Hey, I'm Nathan.
And I'm Bobby.
And maybe...
This could be a podcast.
Did you even have a bachelor party, Bobby?
Yeah, I had a really sad bachelor party.
Tell me about your sad bachelor party.
Yeah, so again, much like you guys, like I have friends that don't like to go to strip clubs at all and feel uncomfortable when they go there.
Yeah.
And so I had three of my friends in my wedding party.
Okay.
And I didn't designate a bachelor best man because I had two very close friends where I'm like it's hard for me.
Did they fight it out though?
No, they didn't fight it out.
Was there one naturally excelled?
Who stood next to you?
My friend Jason stood next to me, so he was the de facto, and probably in retrospect. But again, the other guy, his name was Corey. It is Corey. He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Yeah. It was just hard to pick because I valued both of their friendships.
You gave them both, the nod.
I gave them both what I felt was like appropriate responsibilities. Like Jason is not a talker, so Corey was going to do the speech.
Okay.
Okay, and then conversely, neither of them are party planners or any kind of.
Sure.
I should have planned my own bachelor party, is what I'm saying, because I was Corey's best man and I was Jason's best man.
Okay.
No, I wasn't Jason's best man. I take that back. But I'm the one that should be planning the bachelor party. So my buddy Jason, bless his heart, there was a campground up in Wisconsin Dells that.
Oh, the Dells. Party Central.
Party Central, and so there was a cabin, like a cabin campground area that he booked, and there was a strip club that was within walking distance.
Chase and Chubby's?
Chase and Chubby's.
Chase and Chubby's.
Friend of the show, Chase and Chubby's.
Been there, yeah.
I've never been. I've just driven past it and be like, this is ridiculous that there's a strip club called Chase and Chubby. And also for all the people that are listening who don't know about the Wisconsin Dells, the Wisconsin Dells is a tourist trap destination that caters mostly to families.
Yeah.
It is not Las Vegas.
Picture
or anything
Branson,
like that.
Missouri.
It's Branson light.
Niagara Falls, I would say.
Sure,
More
sure.
Niagara Falls than Branson.
Sure.
There's less sadness. I feel there's an element of sadness with Branson, Missouri.
As someone who's gone to Branson several times, I don't feel like there's
This goes
that
back
much,
to the cool conversation.
There's
right?
not that much sadness. But then again, we didn't spend a lot of time on the strip.
So anyway, he rented this cabin, and it was myself, Corey, and then my buddy Jason, and we invited other people. It's just they couldn't make it up to fucking Wisconsin.
So it was just the three of you?
It was just the three of us.
That's not awkward at all.
Well, it's fine. We had hung out. We've been spending a lot of time together.
Did you call it your bachelor party while it was happening?
I didn't we didn't have shirts made, if that's what you're asking. No, so we did normal things, like we were playing. We played yard drinking games, bags, and what have you. What's the game, Cole? You'll know this. Where there's the pole and they put the bottle on the top, and you have to
Polish horseshoes.
Polish horseshoes, where you have to try to knock the bottle down with the frisbee.
Yeah.
That's what it's. Okay.
Polish horseshoes.
Okay.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Sure.
It took me. I didn't say it very well the first time.
Yeah. No, I didn't know the name, so
okay.
I can't throw stones in a glass house. So we played those games, and then I'm like waiting. I'm like, all right.
Is it too early to go to the strip club?
Are we going to go to the strip club, guys? Are we going to go to the strip club at all? And they weren't into it. They weren't into going. And I'm like, all right, well, if you guys, I'm not going to drag you to the fucking strip club.
Sure.
For my own bachelor party.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys just want to hang out here and we can drink and play cards or whatever the fuck, that's fine. I don't care. And so Jason's wife FaceTimed him.
Yeah.
Just to check in and say hi and everything like that. And she's cool as shit. And Jason is too. But his wife was like, so are you guys going to the strip club and everything? And they were kind of like hemming and hawing. And she's like, no, you guys need to go to the strip club. Go. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. She's like, seriously, go to the strip club. Jeez. It's right there. Go. And I'm like, God, I love you. Thank you. This is tremendous.
I've been waiting for someone.
It's Bobby's day, okay, guys?
It's Bobby's day.
And I didn't preface this with, it's like a Tuesday, okay? It's not Friday night,
There's going to be an appropriate level of sadness in this scenario.
So we meander our way over to Chase and Chubby's. And it's a Tuesday at Chase and Chubby's in the Wisconsin Dells.
What time of day? What time was it?
We're getting probably 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, so it's not like 6.
No.
Or 7.
No.
Yeah.
I'll give you, we'll make it a little game. Can you guess the over-under and how many strippers were in in Chase and Chubby's?
I want to say 2 to 3. I'm going to go and I'll lock it in at 3.
Cole?
4.
You gonna take the over or under basically on that one?
Yeah.
There was 2 strippers.
Okay.
So we walked in.
Damn it.
And immediately with the bartender, maybe there was a bouncer.
Yeah.
But the bartender might have been pulling double duty as a bouncer as well.
Yeah.
Equaling all of the people that were in Jason Chubby's.
Ooh.
And then I could see him bless my friends' hearts because they were like, they realized like, oh, we should probably buy him a lap dance because it's his bachelor party. So you got to buy him one.
Oh no.
So like, again, there's 6 total people in this place.
Yeah.
They go in the corner and start talking to each other by the ATM, and I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I know what they're doing because they're not very covert.
Yeah.
And then the stripper comes and she's like, I hear it's a special day. You know? And there was an attractive stripper and then there was a not attractive stripper. And my fucking friends,
Flip the coin.
they picked the not attractive stripper. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
So it's more funny. It's funnier.
I don't know if they knew it was a joke though.
Or do they just not understand that one's attractive?
I don't know. I never asked because I was like, it's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts.
And so we go and I have the lap
Did
dance.
they rip your underwear out?
No.
Your pants?
No, it was a Tuesday.
That happened to my buddy at that same
Yeah.
strip club.
Yeah, probably on a Friday night.
They brought him on stage. They duct taped him to a chair and
Yeah,
Ugh.
ripped off his underwear. It was great.
and that's not normal.
No,
though.
that was my 21st birthday in East Dubuque. They ripped my underwear off.
yeah?
I'm like,
He's been married for 5 years at this time.
Well, no, actually, no. I was 6 months away from like my nuptials, and I was like, yeah, it's like 21st birthday, and it's like, yeah, sure, we'll go to, I don't think it was called Diamond Girls in
That sounds
East
about right.
Dubuque,
Yeah.
and they're like, all right, birthday boy. I'm like, oh sure, all right, fine. You want to spank me? Yeah, it's fine. I know. And then they're like, literally started grabbing and like ripped like the waistband right off.
Boxers or briefs?
They were boxers, and I'm like, okay, all right. I ended up. It was kind of, this is the funny part of the
Now,
story.
Anna, I got a question here. Was it in the front or in the back or in the
Oh,
side?
they started in the back. They started in the back.
So your junk is getting.
So was
all-
your junk was getting destroyed?
Yeah,
or your butthole?
and also like these were like older style boxers that
like
are
Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny?
yeah, where it's like, well, no, it's like not like stretchy or
no,
like
you were getting
boxer
just
briefs.
a
It was
straight
just-
knife
yeah,
in the middle
yes,
of your.
yeah, totally.
Not meant to be torn.
And then so like at that point in time, my wife was moved back in with her parents.
She wasn't there at the strip club?
No, she was not at the strip club. And I'm like, well, you know what? I want to be with my future wife tonight. And so I ended up going to
Boo.
right?
Again, who's cooler?
Yeah. And then I went into the house and she's like, what the fuck happened to your underwear? I'm like, yeah, so the strippers just ripped it up. And she's like, that's a thing? I'm like, apparently this is a thing. I don't spend a lot of time in strip clubs, so this is apparently is like a normal thing that happens.
I want to say that this is a cover for an actual story that happened. Like Nathan committed some kind of crime.
No.
And then lost his underwear, but had to
Yeah.
create this elaborate backstory.
Yeah, no.
He had to hide
And
3
he's-
grams of coke in his underpants in a dumpster.
And he's been
Yeah.
living with this to this day.
No,
And
it was
we-
bad. It
He
was
has
like
to corroborate.
no. And then I went to the same strip club like the next night because that was like that was like midnight where I turned
You have
20,
to return to the scene of the
21.
crime.
21, and then they're like, "Hey, you want to go back to the strip club?" I'm like, "I'm cool with like literally whatever, but and they're like, "Yeah, let's go."
How many people in this group?
Oh, in this it was like 4 or 5. It wasn't that big.
Was it a Tuesday as well?
I'd have to go back and check the old calendar. I feel like it was a Thursday.
Well, that's when the weekend starts over in Old East Dubuque.
Right. So
Old East Dubuque.
Old East Dubuque, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's
that was
sad
the-
now.
And that's one time where like a stripper yelled at me. I don't know if I told that story or not. And there was a stripper. She was not attractive at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the joke that she kind of reminds me of Gollum from Lord of the Rings. And I
Still knew how to talk to women even back
yeah,
then.
it's just like, and she got in my face, and she's like, "You don't fucking say that. That's fucking rude." Shut
the fuck up.
And I'm like, and then she immediately like stopped yelling at me, and then went back to sexy dancing. It was super weird.
What were you doing?
I was at the rail,
You were at the rail
and it's like
talking about this stripper.
yeah, but the music was so fucking loud. I had a hard time believing that anybody else could hear me, including the person I was making the comment to, because it was so fucking loud.
And so you thought it'd be appropriate.
I mean, in my defense, she looked a lot like Gollum, or your normal.
So that wasn't just you saying that she was ugly. That was you saying she actually looked.
She looked like some kind of meth addict. So, which
it's entirely plausible.
Which I feel like saying she looks like Gollum is a kinder way of saying you look like a meth addict. But
some things you keep to yourself.
I don't think that actually.
You tell me.
I disagree with you 100%. On
she
that.
did have kind of bug eyes, so I don't know.
And so you were caught off guard by her getting offended by this.
Yeah.
And then you didn't understand.
Because the idea of nobody could hear me because
the way that you are.
It was
honestly
so
every
loud.
time I
It was
try to
so
do
loud.
something fun or exciting, you make it not.
I didn't get kicked out. If that's any consolation, I've never been kicked out of a strip club.
I haven't either, but I've also never called a stripper Gollum either. So.
I didn't call it to her face. I said it to my friend sitting next to me. I didn't say, "Hey, lady, you look like Gollum."
You do talk mostly like that, though.
I'm boisterous, and that's
You project, yeah.
I project. I have a good diaphragm control, and that's not against me.
Did you learn your lesson?
I try to go to higher end strip clubs that don't have ugly women.
I mean, that's always a gamble. I would say just save the personal talk. At the bar.
I was off to the
just
side.
put it off to
It
the
was
bar.
like literally.
If
right
you're
next
at
to
the
me.
rail, they can hear you.
Yeah, no. And it's like, it was a weird rail too, like where it's just like ran the length of the room and because it's like a long skinny building. So that was kind of weird. It was very weird.
Okay.
I don't know.
How many women have you said look like Gollum?
Not many. Not
More
many.
than one, though.
I'd have to do some soul searching and check my journals whether or not I've said that any other women look like Gollum.
All right, journal and calendar. All right, your story, Cole?
I was in Rock Island or Moline, Illinois. I have no
Gorgeous.
idea where this place was,
Okay.
Two completely different places.
but right next
They're
to each
both
other.
on the
yeah.
Illinois side.
And it was dollar lap dances, and a girl walked up to me and it's like, "You want a lap dance?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
You can absolutely say no. You can
Oh,
absolutely.
she was pissed because it was a dollar special on that night.
No, you can absolutely. You have right of first refusal. You don't have to say
I'm
yes.
not a strip club person, so that was the whole part of it.
Yeah.
Also, they're not Jeffrey Epstein or Harvey Weinstein. You don't have to say yes, Cole. Okay.
I mean, I get it that she'd be offended, but also,
I mean, that's tremendous value.
has she looked in the mirror lately as well?
She was
It
she was
the
okay.
same girl.
She was okay.
She was okay.
It was just I don't like lap dances. They make me feel uncomfortable.
Go on,
'cause
delve
your
into
penis
that
gets
more.
hard.
No.
You
If anything, the opposite because I hate it so much. I'm just like, ugh.
yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though with the lap dance, and we'll get really into it here.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
sure.
get an erection during a lap
Yeah.
dance.
Never have.
I'm
yet.
not 13 years old. This is a
Right.
transaction.
Right.
What
Right.
we're doing is
Yeah.
I'm paying you to do this, and you're doing this.
Sure.
And I know I've told this story on the podcast before, but like
Okay.
I like having a conversation, getting to know the strippers, because if you get there early enough in the night, you can have conversations.
You're gonna get some stories.
and then you can get some stories, and you get to learn. Then the one
Get the
time,
real lay of the land.
long after my bachelor party, I went to a strip club with my friend Jason.
Chasing chubbies.
Not Jason Chubbies.
Oh.
This was a place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
oh,
And we got there earlier in the night, like probably closer to 6, 7 o'clock or whatever.
'Kay.
Just because we were like, fuck it, we're around this area. Let's go in. And there was nobody else there, so we befriended the strippers. And the one stripper, she was very attractive, attractive blonde. She's doing her lap dance to me and then 4 other strippers and my buddy Jason. So again, we are outnumbered by the strippers in the place.
Yeah.
And
But in a good way. The situation.
in a good way, less sad this time. And the stripper, she comes crawling up like a cat that they do on the walk.
At any point, did you say meow?
No,
Okay.
because I was caught off guard. But she looked at me and she's like, "Are you into conspiracy theories?"
why? Yes, I am.
And I'm like, "Well, do I wear it on my face?" Yes, I am actually.
Yeah. You were wearing the "I Want to Believe" T-shirt.
I wasn't giving any indicators that I knew of. I wasn't talking loudly about 9/11 or the moon landing
So
or
what
whatever.
what was the stripper's like conspiracy that she wanted to talk about?
So we did end up getting a lap dance. I
Yeah.
got a lap dance with
Okay.
her. And then, but basically we were having a conversation while a song's going on and she's just kind of grinding on me. And she did. She asked me, she's like, "What's your favorite conspiracy theory?" And I'm like,
Tell me about-
9/11 was probably my first one, going in. And she liked JFK a lot, and I'm like, oh, that's a classic. That's an oldie but a goodie. You know?
This is like
Greatest
of
hits,
all the conversations to have while having a woman gyrate on top of you.
Yeah.
I would not pick this one.
I bought an extra song.
I want to keep this train rolling.
I want to keep this conversation going.
Can you tell the listeners about your subway experience?
Oh, I've told people about the subway.
Oh, yeah, that was
Subway?
before
You
my
wanted-
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was before you. But yeah, then another time when we were in Ames, Iowa.
Oh yeah, you're just eating a Subway sandwich at the rail.
I
Yeah.
wasn't fucking.
No,
doing
yeah,
it.
you
No.
were,
But a guy, a gentleman at this gentleman's club.
Yeah.
It was a gentleman's club in Ames, Iowa. And when you were talking about your rail etiquette,
yes.
I immediately thought about this guy. I'm like, well, he didn't even get yelled at, and he was eating a full-on
Subway
sandwich.
sandwich.
footlong.
Meatballs all over the stage.
It was an Italian BMT. Okay, so there was no meatballs.
Yeah.
But a man sitting right up close to the rail, stripper dancing,
Yeah.
multiple strippers dancing. He's just sitting there with that like fat guy stance. You know how fat guys sit because I don't
gotta
know, they
make
can't. It's either big balls or they can't put their
Yeah, you
legs
got-
together.
Well, you got to make room for the girth.
It's just sweaty down there, you know?
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's an airflow thing.
Yeah,
But
I
he's
would say.
sitting down there and he's a professional foot-long Subway sandwich eater because it's not cut in half. It's
It's not even cut in half.
No, he's got-
That's weirder.
Wait, was he eating it sideways? Like
No.
Okay,
Corner of
good,
the top.
good God.
No, he was eating like an ice cream cone, but he just had it like
Yeah.
he had the full thing, and he would just like unwrap it, more
Unwrap a little bit, eat it, and continue down the line.
and just
Oh,
sit there.
That's a Tuesday night if I've ever heard
That's
one.
fucking weird.
That was a Friday night names.
That's fucking weird. I mean, how often are you frequenting
A
strip club?
If we go on vacation, we generally like to see what's around.
It's a vacation strip club. It's a special treat only
it's a special
when you're out of
treat.
town.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did get we were in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina,
'Kay.
a couple years ago, and we're like, hey, there's a strip club. It's a few miles away. We can Uber. This would be great. We'll just go in
'Kay.
there and we'll have some fun there
Sure.
in old Myrtle Beach. And so we get like the nicest grandpa driver ever. And he's talking to us.
Dropping you and your wife off at the strip club.
And he's talking. So where are you guys from? Oh yeah, well there's some water back there if you'd like it and everything. And wants to have the conversation. I would much rather have someone who's just like, this is a transaction.
Yeah.
Let's just go. So as we're driving up, it's like, this doesn't look like a strip club's anywhere around here. This is like an office park, you
Yeah.
know, and there's no lights, no signage or anything like that. And I'm like looking on Yelp. I'm like, yeah, it's open. It says it's open. It says it's around here. And he's like, well, what kind of place is this? What are you looking for? And I'm like, oh, it's a nightclub. And he's like, oh, well, and he was ho humming, and I'm like, we got to call us. We got an audible.
Yeah.
Let's just abort. And I'm like, we'll create a new destination if you can just take us back to where we were, because this place clearly doesn't exist. And then, so we went back to where we were, and then we found there was a gay strip club. There was a gay.
Oh.
It was a gay club. It wasn't necessarily
In
gay
Myrtle
strip.
Beach?
Yes. All right. And hey, I'm open. It's fine. All right. If
Sure.
my wife has
You have
gone
an
to
open
many,
relationship.
I don't have an open relationship,
Okay.
but my wife has gone with me to many of female strip clubs. I'm like,
Okay.
I'd be a hypocrite if I don't.
Look at you.
It was a gay club is what it was, and they had a cabaret night, and so we get another Uber driver, not a grandpa, and
Yeah.
he drops us off, and he's like warning us. He's like, "Do you know what this place is, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's just a gay club. It's fine. Like we've been to gay bars before." He's like, "All right, well, good luck." And I'm like, and there's the other side. There's the other side
Yeah,
of the
it's
coin.
this weird thing. As soon as you walk in, you're getting hard.
Oh, just immediately. Yeah. I was basically accosted from the moment I got in there.
Yeah.
No. We did our normal thing that we do when we go to a gay club is play pool. If you ever go to a gay club, start playing pool. They'll be in awe.
That's where the straight dude is. Oh boy.
No, they're all very nice, but
No,
they're
no,
just
I'm
like
sure.
they're just in awe of that someone's playing the pool table.
Someone knows how to use the pool
It's
table.
like, this thing's been here this entire time, right? I'm not crazy. I just want to play some pool, and they're like, "Well, how's this going?" So
Yeah. For my bachelor party, we did, it was like me and like 5 other dudes. We went to a place called Daisy Dukes. See, it was fine. It wasn't awkward as I thought it would, except for like when I was asked to chip in for my own lap dance. That was kind of weird.
oh yeah, that's a faux pas.
Well, it's like, I'm like, they're like,
It's your
hey,
bachelor party, man.
and they're like, Do you got another $10 for the lap dance? I'm like,
they just ran out of money.
I'm like, yeah, sure. And then same thing with you. Like there was a weird seated area before we could go into the booth for the lap dance. And it was like, okay, I guess we have to sit here and wait until the next song. And we're just sitting here awkwardly.
Yep.
So I guess I'll try to chit chat with you a little bit about stuff because.
But I like talking to strippers.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to normal people. I like talking to strippers.
Yeah. No.
Well, and this goes back to my first strip club experience was going to Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine in college, we got in a car and we're like, we're going to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No money whatsoever. And we go, and I, throughout the night, befriend an elderly lesbian woman who's sitting at the rail. She's sitting right at the rail, and she's sitting at the part where every stripper gets off of the stage.
Oh.
And she's saying hi to everybody. And she
knows everybody.
She knows everybody.
Yeah.
And let's just say we became friends. Okay? Because we didn't know it was BYOB. But she had liquor, and she's just like, here you go. You just have this. Because I think you could get like free pop or whatever.
Sure.
And so she just had a bunch of liquor. Yeah. And I was sitting next to her, and we were having a ball. And of course, I was a college student, didn't have any fucking money. Probably went there with like $20. And they're like, I'll just tip, And she's like, oh no, you need to. Candy, come here. Get him a lap dance. She bought me like 3 or 4 lap dances that night. All my other friends don't have any fucking money. They're like ready to go. I'm like, I'm having the best night of my life here, meeting this old lesbian lady who's friends with everybody.
Get this nice boy a lap dance.
So that awkward conversation waiting for the song to start. She's like, well, the stripper, Candy, whatever. She's like, so how long have you known Beatrice or whatever? And I'm like, I just met her tonight.
I literally just met her.
She's like, oh, she's so great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so now I'm like in the inner circle. And I'm like, this is the greatest. So when we were driving home, I'm like, guys, that was awesome. They're like, yeah, it was fine. Like, no, you got to meet the old lesbians at the bar.
Yeah, apparently.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't frequent strip clubs at all. That's
maybe like 5 my entire life.
I think that's probably about where I'm at.
I think we know who the cool one in the group is.
Except for maybe.
We figured it out.
We did figure it out. All right. So we did, speaking of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just had 420. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was a thing.
That was a whole thing. And so Saturday morning was 420. And so I wake up.
I know how calendars work. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just double checking. So anyway, I'm in bed Saturday morning, wake up at like 8 o'clock or whatever. I'm like, this is too early to wake up at 420.
Yeah.
On 420. I'm going to put a movie on. All right. So I go to Hulu. And Hulu's always a great Saturday morning movie place because they just have the perfect selection of movies I don't really care about.
Your cartoons from back in the day.
Exactly. Great analogy, Cole. Perfect analogy. It's like putting on a cartoon. Exactly.
Okay.
So I come across the movie that Cole is now going to be challenged with here to guess.
Oh God.
Oh,
okay.
We're doing a game?
We are doing a game here. I can do the...
okay. Get the game show theme song. Okay, now we're going to guess how many characters and actors that Cole remembers in what movie?
Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, you fucking watched Dude, Where's My Car?
I put on Dude, Where's My Car? It was 420.
I was 17 years of age, and I turned Dude, Where's My Car off because I found it so insufferable. How the fuck? My God.
I'm not defending it.
Yeah.
I watched it in research, and I was like, okay, now this is tricky. Because,
jeez,
like the other movies that we've gone, like the Kevin James of it all, there's some easy ones we can knock off, which we can set the line.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
We'll
set it by our guesses, but there's some really tricky ones here. That if he can get it, he can really stack some points. So there's this. So what is your guess?
I'm gonna say 5.
You're gonna say
I'm saying 5.
Are you going 4.5 or are you going 5.5? He's got to get.
I'll do 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, because I feel like that's it.
That's
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Number. I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the under just to make it more interesting.
Okay.
All right. We can get the 2. We can knock the 2 off.
Okay. All right.
I'm hoping you can get. If you can't get the first 2,
get your bell ring ready here.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, Coley.
Holy
Who
crap.
was in Dude, Where's My Car?
Well, Ashton Kutcher and Sean William Scott.
Okay.
Was Cal Penn in that movie?
No. Are we giving him 3 guesses?
Sure.
Okay, three
Three
wrong
misses.
answers. Yeah,
Yeah.
three.
See, I'm literally looking for all these Zoltan characters. Zoltan. And that's all I can remember from that movie because it's been that long. Was Jamie Presley in that movie?
That's two. That's two. Jeez. Maybe.
Who were the Zoltan guys?
There's the main Zoltan guy is I would say what the VH1 remember.
He was
the
on
90s?
I Love the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, I can picture who his face is, but I cannot remember him.
And I'll say he has. It's not necessarily a stripper name, but he's kind of got like an onomatopoeia. Kind of an onomatopoeia of a name.
Can we go over like portions of the movie a little bit?
Sure. Yes, I can. I'll give you an extra guess.
I have no idea.
Okay, so they don't know where their car is because they partied so hard.
That's about it.
And then
They
have
go through a Chinese drive-through, and
They
a guy
do.
says "and then" a lot.
a woman
then-
says and then a lot.
Yeah.
But before that, they go to their friend's place and they smoke weed to get back in the state of mind that they were in. Before that,
Jesus.
Wow, this is killing me, dude. I cannot remember any of this movie.
here's the one that I was like, oh, this is the trick here. They are dating twins. And if you can remember even one of the twins,
Oh, yes.
I have no idea.
One of them was like more famous than the other one. I do remember that.
you could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of this film whatsoever.
God, who is their fucking drug guy, too? Oh, my God.
There's also, later on, they find out where their car is, and they go to the place that bought the car from the auction, and they get captured and then put into a prison, quote unquote, in the basement.
Was Andy Dick in this movie?
There it
Sorry,
is.
that's three.
There's three.
Yeah. For some reason, I remember Andy Dick. I was trying to remember who the fuck their drug dealer was.
Yeah. Was that Andy Dick? Was Andy Dick the drug dealer?
Andy Dick was not the drug
And
dealer.
the Zoltan guy was a comedian
Yes.
that just, I wouldn't know his name.
You'll know it when I say it.
Okay.
And then, so then there's also,
was
if you want
that the impound lot? Was that somebody? The guy who was in charge of the impound lot?
possibly, yes.
Okay.
But if there's also a very hot girl that they're attracted to that they apparently hooked up with the night before. And
Yeah. I
and then
slightly
her
remember that.
boyfriend is the brother of a famous-ish actor. Bro, I'm trying to give you clues without giving it away.
This is a lot. This is a lot of clues because
No, you're just helping me like remember the
Yep.
plot of the movie.
I don't
which
remember.
You
would
got one
help
more
me.
guess.
Yeah.
You got one more.
I'm
You
trying
can
to
do it.
decide if I want to go with the drug dealer or they played mini golf at the end. I remember that.
don't remember that because I
They
didn't finish it.
do. They do.
And then one girl turns into a giant alien.
Hot girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a clue I can give you. Because if you get her name, I think that's going to be worth a point.
Okay.
One of the women in Zoltan was
Oh, I remember who you're talking about. Like slightly ugly-ish girl that's in.
a very talented comedian who is not conventionally attractive, but she has striking features.
Oh.
She is in Kiefer Sutherland's 24, not 24
Yeah,
India.
she
Oh,
has an eyebrow in it. Yes, I know.
yeah.
I know exactly who that is. I have no idea what
Can't
her
get her
name
name?
is. Yeah.
All right, you giving up?
Hold on.
I'd try for one
Girlfriend?
of the twins.
Was it Amy Smart?
No.
This is really gonna
Yeah.
piss me off. Wow, you managed to I'm very
Yeah.
confident in this game every time
Yeah.
we play it, and I'm like, dude, where's my car? I've
Dude,
not
where's my-
seen that. In
Who were the
15
twins?
years.
Oh, gun to my head, I could not remember without watching it. Jennifer Garner was one of the
That
twins.
is
Oh, no
yes, I
shit.
knew one of them
Oh,
was
yeah.
a big actress.
Yep.
And the other?
Marla Sokolov is another one. which
Who's
you
Marla Sokolov?
You'd probably remember, like you've probably seen her face, and she's probably been in a bunch of
Hal
things.
Sparks.
Hal Sparks was
Hal-
the other guy.
That's the guy I was trying to remember.
I could not think of what his name was.
Hal Sparks was there.
Chrissy Swanson's the hot girl. Yes. God damn it.
And then Mary Lynn Rescoop.
Yeah. Was Kevin Nealon the guy at the impound lot?
No.
Who
No,
made the...
and that was all I was gonna get was the random guest appearances of this movie because
Yes.
Oh, David
There's a
Herman.
lot of random
David
people in here.
Herman. from Mad TV.
Yep. Yeah. David Herman was the drug dealer. He was also in Office Space.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Didn't expect you to remember his name, but in case that was back in your backlog.
This is a lot of random people, honestly. Like I
Yeah.
have not like Christy Swanson. Never would have got that one in a million
Who's
years.
Christy Swanson? Is she an actual person?
She
or-
was a big '80s actress. That's she's the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
All I know is that at the top of her IMDb page is just a video that involves Dean Cain.
Well,
So
I mean, that's good TV right there.
that's just good TV.
exactly.
Now I just remember Kevin Nealon saying something about like, well, if so and so, I'm trying to remember which UNESCO, not UNESCO. What I'm trying to remember. There was some like bit about how running a tow lot is not a charity. That's all I can think of.
Well, because they don't go, and we're getting way into the plot. I don't think they ever go to the tow yard because because they get arrested,
Okay.
and they're charged with they're suspected of committing a crime that they can't remember.
Yeah.
But one of the cops remembers that they bought donuts for the cops at a donut shop at 2 a.m, which alleviates them from committing the crime.
Okay.
So they stay within the cop shop to find their car because the one cop who wears thick glasses, mind you, he gets the buttons confused and he sends the car to auction instead of the impound. So they never go to the impound.
So
Okay.
the other character, the other girlfriend, who like I do remember from seeing her, would never guess her name, was Stephanie Tanner's best friend in Full House.
Yes. Good.
And that was like that bothered the crap out of me forever.
Oh.
Yes. And also, was she on Roseanne then too?
She was on Boy Meets World.
Is that what you're thinking of?
I just know I've jerked off to her.
Oh, Bobby.
What?
Bobby.
She's got to be like 43 years old. She's 45 years old.
She dated James Franco.
Yeah.
She dated James Franco.
Why can't I, as a similar age man?
It was never not appropriate at whatever point in life he
Yeah, it was always appropriate. At every stage of the game, I've been right there with her. If anything, it's super hot.
That's a love story if I've ever heard one.
Exactly. I'm going to talk about that at my next bachelor party.
Oh,
My next one, was she in Roseanne? That's the thing I want to find
That's the
out.
thing you
No,
wanna
she's
find
just
out.
Boy Meets
Yeah.
World. She was Paige.
Oh, she was in Step by Step in for one episode.
She was Paige in Home Improvement, too. This girl is classic
she
Paige.
well, I wonder if that was like a crossover event or something.
Yeah, real.
Is that some kind of bullshit crossover event?
That's another cold question. Boy Meets World, Home Improvement crossover.
No, that was not.
I mean,
a
they're
thing.
both ABC programs.
But one's in
So-
Pennsylvania, one's in Michigan
What's that guy? I mean, they can meet up in Indianapolis, right?
for March Madness.
But one thing that bothers me is Fabio is in Dude, Where's My Car? And
That should have been a get for you.
Ooh, that's
that
right.
Would,
That's when
I'm
Ashton
not mad
Kutcher-
at this list at all because I'm looking at this cast and I'm like,
There's a
I
bunch
don't
of nobody.
know any of these people.
yeah.
You do now, though.
Yeah.
You
no,
do know.
That's a no.
I'll never forget.
It's not. Dude, Where's My Car is not 9/11, Cole.
That's not what I was implying.
I think that is.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. It was pre 9/11.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
There was pre 9/11 written all over.
I didn't say Dude, Where's My Plane, okay?
Yeah, jeez.
Okay, that might have been crossing the line.
That's crossing the line. How dare you, Cole? No.
I don't want the terrorists to win. You know.
I literally made it like halfway through that movie, maybe 3/4, and I'm like, I can't. I cannot make this. I cannot.
Oh, it's a perfectly fine Saturday morning cartoon movie.
As a 17-year-old boy at 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, this is just straight garbage. I cannot do this anymore.
No one's defending, nor do we need to spend any more time on Dude, Where's My Car?
I'm just letting you know it's not good, and I can't believe you watched it. I can't believe you watched that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a perfect
I went
college
back to
kid
bed.
movie, yeah.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of stoner comedies. I've always found them to be somewhat insufferable.
Well, what do you consider? I mean,
Half baked.
you don't like half baked.
I don't care for half to bake.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you like that? You liked half baked?
Fucking great, man.
Yeah, Cole. Of course.
Yeah.
Cole.
I mean, what's some?
And
I mean, I'm
first off,
trying
Half
to.
Baked is a good movie.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it? Is it just funny because
It's in that fun era of 90s
You know,
rated R comedies that we
countercultural?
Yeah, if you look
Yeah.
at
What's some other like you know,
this is Cole's job.
pop.
I'm doing it here.
Huh? What's some other like?
Pineapple Express.
Didn't really
Great.
care for it.
But that doesn't mean you're right, though. You know that, right?
I'm just saying I don't care for these movies.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can say that. That's
I mean,
your opinion.
Like How High? Like if you don't like that, that's fucking fine.
What's How High? Which one's that? Oh, that's with Redman and Method Man.
Yes.
yeah.
No, I never watched that one.
And I didn't either. But this is like you don't have to like it, and that's fine.
As compared to like Dazed and Confused, I mean, I
Well,
would
like
not
I
say
would
that.
consider like Super Troopers to be a stoner comedy in
Yeah.
a sense.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Never watched that one.
What?
Harold and Kumar? No. Yeah, I'm like I don't want to do with any of this.
And that's
No,
fine.
so I think there's more to Super Troopers than just being a stoner comedy.
It kind of is though.
No, it's
I mean,
a
I
movie that's
understand that.
prerequisite is to get stoned and watch it.
I understand that the final act is about
Are you pulling
getting,
this up? Or
getting bales of weed. I get that.
yeah, it's a through line.
Yeah, but also Brian Cox is in it.
Yeah, you don't think
And he
Brian
has
Cox?
no-
He does McDonald's commercials. The dude likes to get high.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, you don't think he was baked doing McGriddle commercials?
The first time I heard Brian Cox doing the ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm like, this is glorious. I'm so
Alright,
happy.
Would you consider Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back to be?
Absolutely. 1,000%. Did not care for that. I'd like to like pinpoint what is about these movies that I
But
don't
you don't
care
like
for.
getting high either, so that's fine.
Oh yeah, I enjoy. I don't
I mean,
know.
I enjoy you getting high because you shut up.
You like, well, yeah. I'm trying to think here. What is it about these films that I don't care for? Because I really enjoy. I
A
enjoy.
lot of them are very dumb.
I
Like,
enjoy stupid things. I like laughing at
Okay,
stupid things.
Friday.
Anytime we're doing stupid stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
the Friday trilogy.
The first one,
First one's great.
kind of I remember like saying, "Oh, there's something here." Maybe it's just a peek into a culture that I'm not really familiar with.
Stoner culture.
No, more like just
What's the word you're
South
looking for?
Central.
You
I
don't
think,
frequent South Central
No.
LA a lot?
but I remember like
Why not?
the second one. I'm like, this is incredibly stupid. And then there was like a kid. I remember there was a kid who thought the Mexican guy who's like, no more locked doors. He thought that was the funniest fucking thing and would repeat that all the fucking time. I'm like,
Okay.
what is funny about this? Because I don't.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it a little Dave Matthews Band effect? Are people around you ruining these movies to the point where you can't? Because I'm not going to,
No.
I don't
No.
want to lump like
No.
Friday into a trilogy
Yeah.
like they're all equal
Yes.
movies.
Yeah, the first one is
The
by
first
far-
one's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
And its own separate thing.
I never watched Next Friday or
But-
the Friday after next. I didn't
But
watch
my
that one.
question is, though, are there people
No,
that when you were growing up,
no. I would say that.
okay,
I would say no. Like literally, like 80% of the films I'd watch, I would watch them by myself, or with.
Well, maybe
my,
that was the
or
problem.
My, or
These
my
are-
brother and my sister.
these are party movies. These are movies that you put on and you smoke weed with your friends and you sit around and you watch it and
Yeah.
you laugh together.
Yeah.
And to be
are
fair,
they
I'm looking
actually
at
funny?
these lists, and it's like, yeah.
I'm not defending every stoner movie ever made,
Yeah.
but I'd like.
You're defending stoner movie as a genre though,
Well, of course, why not?
because it's filled with bad movies.
Well, like, okay, here's an obvious good
'Kay.
one. Big Lebowski.
Great, and absolutely a stoner movie.
That's a stoner movie.
Yes, and if you're talking about stoner culture versus actually just like movies about smoking weed, like there's a big world between the
Sure.
Big Lebowski and How High. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but
This is like in
Yeah.
a sense, like 23-year-olds getting high and watching a movie.
Yeah.
And like
But-
their traditional go-to.
Yeah.
But like Pineapple Express might be like the Citizen Kane of stoner movies because it is a very good movie on
And
its own.
There's a lot of Seth Rogen
Yeah.
movies in general on this list for sure.
He's
See, I remember watching
Write what you
specifically,
know.
not with like, no, we like all sat and watched The Big Lebowski as a big group of friends, like 10 plus kids. We weren't smoking weed because we were good children.
Yeah.
But I love the fuck out.
now is this where it's coming from? though, a
No,
little
but
bit?
I love the fuck out of that movie. I think it's a very interesting twist on a noir, filled with very interesting imagery.
Pineapple Express is an interesting take on an action adventure chase movie.
I watched that movie once and I'm like, it's not hitting with me. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's.
But it's because the interesting part of this conversation is not whether you like or don't like stoner comedies. It's
I'm
why you don't
understanding
like them.
why.
So,
Yeah.
and to be honest with yourself, is it because you look at weed as like icky?
No.
And,
No.
and
No.
icky
Absolutely
and
not.
sticky.
No. No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Sure about that?
Yeah. Anybody that wants to partake in the cannabis that's fine by me.
It's not about the other people. It's about you, though.
Yeah. Me, it's just it's not something I've really connected with. I don't find.
Is that because you didn't have a time in your life where you got stoned consistently?
Not consistently, no, and that's.
You sure about that?
Yeah, not consistently, no.
So that's probably it. Then.
Here's an interesting one.
But I don't feel like
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. I watched that once in college, and I'm like, oh, this is just a weird '70s movie. Not so much like
It's a stoner movie.
yeah, that's a stoner movie. I remember it kind of made me feel icky towards the end when things kind of went off the rails, but that's besides the point.
It's not a solid list. Like Cheech and Chong and a bunch of other random stuff's on here, but
Yeah. I don't.
Cheech and Chong has their moments, though. Too.
I
Yeah.
I kind of like Cheech and Chong, and I don't know if that was maybe like stoner comedies were meant for me as an 8-year-old.
Well, there's a little bit of that.
Maybe that's it, because like that's kind of when Cheech and Chong was introduced to me, and also like I think that Cheech and Chong is Up in Smoke is a okay movie. Maybe I need to once again go back and rewatch it. I haven't watched that in fucking forever.
But there are gags within that are much like Airplane or anything like that, where it's like these are just movies. Anyway, so we can transition off this because you're not being honest with yourself as to
I'm
your
not being
hatred.
honest with myself.
Your hatred of people that smoke weed, or you consider it lowbrow. Because I feel that's exactly what it is. You just consider like it's like your hatred of puns. Like you consider it lowbrow humor, so therefore you can't allow yourself to watch it.
Can I throw one more out there?
Yeah.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
And I think both can be right here because when you throw out like The Big Lebowski and then Big Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as like the same genre movie, I see your argument.
Yeah.
But both are true though.
I feel like honestly, Big Lebowski does not deserve to be on this list whatsoever. But that's besides it, because I think it's a much better film. Surprised the Coen brothers made it. Why is it that I don't care for it's not that I have a problem with marijuana.
I think you have a problem, and I'm speaking out loud to you. That's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not casting judgment or anything.
Yeah.
I think you view it as the same style of humor as puns, and you view it as lowbrow humor, and therefore not worth your time. Therefore, when you're watching it, you don't actually give yourself to it to find the strong qualities of it. Because there are strong qualities of Pineapple Express being that movie.
Sure.
You know, and The Big Lebowski being probably like the pinnacle of it.
Yeah.
It gets based around smoking weed. They're like
Sure. No, I think that there's you can say objectively that there's a lot of these movies that we've said are not funny whatsoever.
They span a gambit.
Now, okay, now we don't have to go into so Saturday morning when you were watching.
Yeah.
Dude, where's my car?
Yeah. I didn't smoke weed.
You didn't? Okay,
No.
so that's
I put
check.
it on to go back to bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
At any point,
Which gets put over here.
Did you get a half chuckle?
Yeah, just because of stupidness.
Yeah.
It was
And don't get me wrong. I
not
think
defending. Dude,
Right.
where's my car?
Because here's the thing. I think you should leave with Tim Robinson. Right.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of dumb, and that's more like
It's very
leaning
dumb.
leaning more into the avant-gardeness of it rather than we're dumb. I'm trying to think. There's two different things here,
Sure.
and I find more the avant-garde being super weird, and things are weird, and that's interesting, and it's weird, and there's humor within taking these situations to the nth degree, as compared to oh man, super doopy buddy woulda.
But
Because I feel like that's where a lot of quote unquote stoner movies go.
and I hear your point. I hear your point and hear what you're saying. But also within those movies, though, within the movies in the other category, the non-avant-garde, quote unquote, they're taking swings at like an incredible rate. All right. So if you watch, and I'll use Dude, Where's My Car as an example,
Yeah.
When there is a point when Fabio, when they find the money or some shit like that, and they are able to get, they bought all this stuff without knowing, and then they have it all.
Yeah.
They run into Fabio in a car, and it's the classic pull up to another car situation.
Sure.
And then they're trying to outmasculine
Sure.
Fabio.
Yeah.
And he's got some hot chick with him, and he like starts making out with her.
And then they
Sean
start making
William
out.
Scott and
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher start making out, and I'm like, yeah, that's funny. That's a good swing.
Yeah.
And again, it took an hour 40 minutes to get into that, to the point where it was like, okay, that's a swing that landed, but that's very much in the Tim Robinson camp of, I think you should leave kind of thing. That you could take that little section and be like, that's a skit.
Yeah.
And then what they're doing within this
it's a collection of events that happen, and hopefully they find humor.
and
along
let's
the
not.
way.
There's a really good.
You can
film-
say the same thing about Hangover.
of course, but
Those are practically the same.
we're
movie.
forgetting the 9/11 of it all. Okay, we're talking
Post
about
9/11.
Post 9/11 Stoner comedies got a little more serious. The world got better.
But in the way we're talking about it, you can consider Napoleon Dynamite to be a stoner comedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and kind of to get to your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I've never
love
laughed at a movie harder
than
when I
Napoleon
watched
Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite
But
high, incredibly high,
Yeah.
eating a bowl of life cinnamon, and
Have
it was.
have you watched it high?
It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious both ways, but one of the funniest moments of my life is sitting there watching Napoleon Dynamite at 3 a.m, high off my ass, eating a bowl of life cinnamon, and waking up my roommate because I can't stop laughing.
That's good.
That makes it a stoner comedy, like in my mind.
It just attracted this stoner culture for sure. Like it was definitely a movie that like
It was
that's
countercultural.
kind of why it became popular. I think.
I'd say it's countercultural.
It also attracted,
Yeah.
and it was interesting. You and I were talking about before the podcast started. It attracted, not we weren't talking about Napoleon Dynamite, but like that movie attracted the bro culture as well in a way that was like, oh, they're not getting the same jokes.
Yeah, see, I think that like people watching stoner comedies, the bros, they would watch a stoner comedy and laugh because it's funny. But for all the,
I didn't know that Dude, Where's My Car was going to spark
no,
so much.
no, it's just,
But so there's an interesting dynamic. Charlie O'Connell, Jerry O'Connell's brother, younger brother, plays a douchey bro, and his like 5 guys that like Zoolander-esque like jump out of a pickup truck and like come and like they all stand in like formation to fend off these stoner dorks, And it's so there's this interesting dynamic with Sean William Scott and Ashton Kutcher with their like dorky stoner dudes to like Charlie O'Connell's like, I'm a bro and here's all my bro dudes. We're gonna beat you up and put trash cans over your head. Which happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Because of Chrissy Boner.
And she's attracted to them because they're nice guys and not bros, but she like goes with them. So again, weird dynamics that are happening that are going on.
Yeah.
Because Ashton Kutcher and Sean William Scott are not stoner dorky. I mean, they're not unattractive dudes.
I would say that
It's different than like with Napoleon Dynamite.
not Sean Astin.
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott.
Sean Astin?
I think that Sean Astin's more attractive than Sean William Scott. I'm willing to die on that hill, and that's up to you.
That's your opinion, man.
Yeah. No, that's super
So
weird.
there's that dynamic though that like the bro culture
countercultural,
is like ripping on the stoner culture within that movie. I don't know, maybe you got to reanalyze it. Maybe you got to watch it through different eyes.
I am not gonna rewatch Dude, Where's My Car, or at least watch Dude, Where's My Car in its totality ever. Probably not. I mean, like, hold on.
And you don't need to.
Hold on. Like basketball. I think you could probably make the case that quote unquote that's a movie that stoners enjoy.
Yeah.
Right? But it's so much more than that as compared to.
And I do see what you're saying because it's a very large umbrella.
Yeah.
Where if you're counting How High and The Big Lebowski in the same, it's in the same genre of movie, it's gonna get prickly pretty quick.
Right.
Because one is an actual movie and the other one is like, look how many airplane kind of gags we can fit in. But that goes back to the basketball of it all. Like there is that's kind of what those movies are based on.
I mean, those.
So you
like,
can
That's
be
what
high.
established the cult following.
yeah.
But that's also what establishes the stoner aspect of it. It's like where you're smoking and then like
It just has to be
people
joke
are
after
talking.
joke after joke.
Yeah.
You can't get lost.
Like Half Baked just did terribly in box office, but developed a cult following because of.
But if you go to that
stoner
Abba
culture.
Zaba scene, like that's everyone that smoked weed and gone in public. And
Abba Zaba.
the Abba Zaba when they first smoke weed as kids and they go into the convenience store and then there's like the one Abba Zaba candy bar that's just like giant and they're just eating it.
I don't remember this.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Abba Zabba, you're my best friend.
it's one of those things where if you've gone into any kind of public situation, especially a grocery store or convenience store, it's like a kid in a candy store and they just nailed the tone of it as far as what it is. And
Yeah.
I've never had an Abba Zaba, but I've had the experience of being like, oh
I want
my
this and I want this.
Bodegas. Say it with us.
Jeez. Yeah. I don't know.
God. Well, that's fine.
I'm curious, and I don't think it's because I have some reservations about,
Well, I know how you feel about
the
puns.
devil's lettuce.
I know how you feel about puns.
He'll watch shitty horror movies all day, but cannot watch a stoner comedy.
Yeah.
Here, I got a transition.
'Kay.
Okay. I got a transition.
Okay.
Okay. To video game genre.
Okay.
And we go specifically television because I feel
Television.
because I started watching the new Fallout.
Oh, you did now.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. I have my worries about where it's
'Kay.
going.
How
in the
far? How
industry.
far are you in?
About 4 episodes, I think.
Okay.
I got to like 6 yesterday, and yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's all right.
It's good.
It's well done.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that Amazon's doing it.
Yeah.
That they're look, it's gonna be hard to talk bad about Walton Goggins.
It's
and
hard
anything.
to talk bad about Walton Goggins.
And I'm not going to.
Star of Major League 3, Back to the Minors.
Exactly.
He was also in the fastest Indian ever.
Fastest Native American ever. They
No, it
actually
was fastest Indian.
they renamed it.
Yeah, did they?
No. But it's entirely possible, right?
Yeah, Fallout's good. I enjoyed it. I probably played like 20 hours of that game. Fallout 4, that's about it.
And this goes into my point.
Never played it.
Yeah.
So
Never played it either. I own it.
Oh,
During COVID, I bought a lot of video games with the intent of I'm going to play video games.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this is why I don't play video games. These
Sure.
I don't get into them the same way. And that's okay.
Sure.
It's
sure.
if it's not for me.
Yeah.
Because there's like I love like Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Vice City was
Might have
yours.
been the last game that I like played through and like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna beat this thing.
Yeah, I have not completed like a video game in totality, except for maybe like Lego City, like Police or something like that. I'm literally trying to think of like,
Can't wait for that TV series to come out.
no, it was a nice little game. Anyhow, yeah, that's about it. But no, I like the Fallout television program. Yeah, I've got an affinity to post-apocalyptic shit. And also like mid-century modern. That's also another like big
what's the
portion of it.
HBO show?
The Last of Us.
Last of Us.
That was much better in my opinion.
Yes. Well, here's the deal. They're different tonally, I think.
Yeah, one's darker and one's brighter.
Yeah, one. Yeah, I mean, one is supposed to be a little bit more fun.
Here's
There's not a lot of fun that happens in Last of Us.
there's not a critique. This isn't a critique of the show. This is just my absorption of media leading into it. I just got done with Better Call Saul.
Okay.
And led right into Fallout.
Okay.
And so the use of old timey music juxtaposed to not
Sure.
old timey
Yeah.
music things happening, it's a bit much. It's a heavy hand that they use within Fallout. Now, whether that's a result of me coming up Better Call Saul right into it,
Sure.
because they use
understand.
even same songs. Like there's even same like the same
Yeah.
songs. So
I
when
could
had
see
to do
I
that-
could see that being problematic as far as like setting yourself up for failure.
And I didn't know, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
And-
I'm not gonna fault Fallout for
And
it.
that's not something I would have ever thought of ever as well.
The juxtaposition of those two.
Yes. Yeah.
I only know just from happenstance.
Yeah. Sure.
Kudos to them. They didn't kill the dog. I noticed that.
I tried.
They tried.
Yeah.
That,
Oh.
but if we've learned anything from this podcast,
Yeah,
you can't kill the dog. So that's great that they
Yeah.
brought it back. But because this started from a mutual friend of ours who plays this video game.
Oh,
He plays video games. He said, "Have you watched the new Fallout?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "It's fantastic." And so then I want to put our executive producer hats on here because what I worry about with it is that there is tons of video games out there and people that play them.
Yes, and
it becomes this very easy to go to well to create new TV shows.
I'm going to push back a little bit because, I mean, this has
That's what
been...
the podcast is for.
I mean, because this is like a nut that Hollywood's been trying to crack.
They've been trying to.
For years.
With movies.
Well, yeah. I mean, because television is the medium of our day. It's transformed from film to television as being the higher end of things when you're wanting to tell a story that you want to do. That being said, I have not heard any good things about the Halo television program on Paramount.
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Did you? Okay, yeah. I've not heard anybody say anything good about that at all.
I never played Halo, so there's no like sense of.
I got killed in Halo a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
people were like, "Hey, let's play Halo." Like, I've never played, and they're like, "Well, just
rockets." Yeah, that's about it. But
I've heard things visually. It's good.
It looks great. Yeah.
But I haven't watched any of it. But again, this goes back to like my concern for TV as the medium. They're already like entertainment in general. They're already pulling from a very small bag. Of IP, in video games and things that have existed 20 years ago and remaking them. So it just opens this thing where like I'm not familiar because I don't know. The show stands alone and Fallout's fine. The Last of Us was fine and good. Like I didn't need to play the video game to understand what the story was.
Sure.
But I feel, and Fallout probably more so than The Last of Us, that like the main girl in Fallout, I don't know if she's playing that character bad because that's what the character in the video game does, or she's trying to play it video gamey.
So there is no character in the video game. Okay. So the character is you. It's like a nameless person who doesn't talk.
So that girl doesn't exist.
No, she does not exist.
So because I know the guy Walton Goggins' character exists, correct?
Ish.
I mean, I think they're trying to portray her as just a open-eyed, like hasn't experienced the world and is naive and.
But that's what I was also just wondering. Is she trying to play it like a video game character, like a NPC, like kind of just going through and like jockeying back and forth?
I mean,
or is it? She's a bad actress, and then, or
no,
is it the?
I think it's like the upbringing of like that. Honestly, if you want to take a look at Blast from the Past, starring Brendan Fraser,
Academy Award.
Okay, no, Blast from the Past is Kiefer Sutherland and what's his name from fucking Easy Rider,
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, yeah, that was a movie called
Blast from the Past is Brendan Fraser and Christopher Walken.
No,
yes, it is.
No.
And Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Flashback. Flashback, there was a shitty movie starring Kiefer Sutherland. And
either one is confusing in the realm of what we're talking about. But anyway.
But I mean, like Brendan Fraser's character, a person who's lived in a bunker his entire life.
Perfectly nice and perfectly,
And like with the wholesome 50s attitude, getting released in crazy, mixed up 1990s.
I don't think it's a stretch
LA.
to say that Brendan Fraser's a better actor than the actress from
Fallout. No, I think they're like.
I think she's playing a role.
She's similar character.
I'm not saying it hasn't gotten better. The first and halfway through the second episode, it was very much like, am I missing something that's supposed to be here from playing the game? Like, am I missing this? And where is the people? Like, again, this goes back to the people that play the game. Are they loving it because it's being made? Like, they're so excited that it exists.
No, I think here's the thing that I'm going to say.
I'll just say this because, like, when I was a kid, I was really excited when the Mortal Kombat movie came out because I played Mortal Kombat.
Well, the first one fucking rocked.
And then the same thing with Street Fighter. Street Fighter is a horrible movie, but as a kid in 1995 or whenever the fuck that movie came out. And I didn't have an SNES. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I was going over to a friend's house to play.
What'd you have?
I had to use Sega Genesis, which I think you could get Street Fighter on. But anyway, when that movie came out, I'm like, I'm so happy this exists. That's why it made me think of it because you're like stoner movies. relate to you when you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like video game movies.
Yes.
And I'm not, again, saying they were expertly done back in the early 90s.
No.
Double Dragon being an example.
Double Dragon,
I
Super
played that
Mario
arcade
Brothers
game.
movie.
It's great.
I might defend the Super Mario Brothers movie, but
Yeah.
that's again nostalgia. How
Just
much
a
is it just
weird
because
take.
I played Super Mario Brothers? But there's so much of a bigger population and bigger audience
Yeah.
for people that play these video games now.
Sure.
That are willing to they have the same kind of attachment that I did when I was 10 years old, but they have it now when they're in their 30s and their 40s.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
And I'm just worried because it locks other stories out of being made because they're like, well, no, there's a back catalog of literally thousands of games that people
Sure.
have an
Sure.
affinity towards.
Here's the deal. An adaptation is an adaptation is an adaptation. Whether you're taking from a book or an article or a short story or an old television program or a video game,
It's always happened.
Adaptations happen, and you have to fit the medium that you're making it into. It has to change from
movies were all books back in the day.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was. So, the idea that we're locked
But not
into
everyone read the book. That's the other side of the
But
coin.
also, I don't think. While I
More
do
people
think,
play video games than read books.
well, I do think like a lot of people have played Fallout over the years. I'm trying to. It's a 20-year-old franchise. Plus, how many of those are like really diehard people? How many these people have really in-depth knowledge of the lore of?
A lot. Like more than read Game of Thrones.
Fallout's one of the most popular video games.
It's
of all
very
time.
popular,
I'd
but
say
I don't
the
think
same
it's
thing with Halo, even though or The Last of Us. I mean, my God,
Yeah.
the amount of people that play video games is way more than read books.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, as a medium, video games are the biggest medium.
And my core
and
point
right
though
now.
is this is if you had a post-apocalyptic
Yes.
story, a 4-season, 10-episode a season arc
Yeah.
that you went to pitch to Amazon,
Yeah.
that was dealing with a post-nuclear attack,
Sure.
and they're like, I'm sorry, but we already have Fallout, and
Yeah.
we're not going to make this thing,
And
even though it's different. But
Borderlands is coming out soon.
Is Borderlands coming out? Okay.
And that's where I wanted you, if you could look up the best or worst. I'll let you make the choice because of TV shows, because I feel like there's a lot of bad movies, because they've tried with movies forever. I mean,
Sure. I think it's going to be a kind of a short list as far as video game adaptations into television shows.
and that's why I wanted to talk about it though,
Yeah.
because I think it's one of those things they found their medium, and then The Last of Us, although it might not have been the first one coming through, it was probably the most legit one coming through.
Well, that's because Last of Us is recognized as far as narratively one of the best video games ever. Just from a strict narrative, because the people who crafted the story actually cared, and it wasn't just we got to get the MacGuffin to X, Y, and Z, right? So being able to translate that into an extended, television series, that makes complete sense.
So you're not worried about. Clearly, the answer is yes. That you're not worried about a world where the only movies that are made are superhero movies. The only TV shows that are made are video game movies.
No, I don't think so. Because the thing is, you have to do it well, and being able.
No, you don't.
Well, no, but you.
No, you don't. You have to just
Like I said, I haven't heard anybody talk about this fucking Halo television show at all. No one gives it. I don't Maybe it's because it's on Paramount Plus, or
You
or
want to do
what,
a quick IMDb of what the rating is? And we
Yeah.
can
Well,
do-
let me go through the list here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip anime, but
Okay.
that's a whole nother bag.
that's a
a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Last of Us is number 1.
Yes.
Fallout's number 2.
Yes.
The Witcher's number 3.
okay. What the interesting thing about The Witcher is it was originally a book series turned into a video game series, and now it's a television series. But also, it's fallen off a cliff after season 1.
Halo is at 80% at number 4.
Okay.
Twisted Metal, which was not very good.
Was that a TV show or was that a movie?
That's a TV
It was
show.
a television show. Is that on Paramount?
It's on Peacock
It's
with
on Peacock with
Anthony Mackie
Anthony Mackie.
and Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I mean, I played a shit ton of Twisted Metal as a kid, but
I never had a desire to see it as a movie.
I never because it's just like fighting with cars.
And that's essentially the list. Honestly, they haven't done that much.
And then that's where conversely it was look up the worst video game movies made.
Yeah, I mean, there's
my worry is, and this
list.
is what I'm saying though, is like everyone. It's just like the music industry. You're going to make a calculated risk. You're not going to take a chance on an original story.
Sure.
So again, pitch meeting. You're going in with your original post-apocalyptic radiation story, and then the creators of Fallout are coming in there, and they're right behind you, or they're right in front of you. It doesn't really matter because what they're doing is saying, "Oh no, we have a built-in audience of this thing." So your story is fucked.
I understand what you're saying, and I could see that as a concern. But
everyone's going to drive to that. Everyone is.
You ready for this list?
Sure.
So
I was in the middle of a point, but that's fine.
It's fine.
I just love interrupting you.
Okay.
At number 1. At number 20.
You sure about that?
Super Mario Brothers.
See, I disagree.
See, I feel like that's
I mean,
like the new one that came out with Chris Pratt a couple of years ago.
No.
Oh,
Street Fighter.
garbage.
This is just my childhood. That's fine.
This is one that I forgot about, which is really, really bad. Rampage, starring The Rock.
Oh yeah.
He also made Doom, which I feel is going to be on this list.
There's going to be a lot of Resident Evil.
Doom's not bad.
The Rock even said it was shitty. But anyway.
First of probably many Resident Evil movies to be on this. Their 2021 movie.
Again, they tried a lot.
Afterlife?
Double Dragon, which has a special place in my heart, honestly.
It's right.
Just as a
I
kid.
never watched
Yeah.
Again, though, when I'm 8 to 10 years old, I'm like, yeah, this is why I'm going to defend this movie.
Sure.
Well, Alyssa Milano.
But now, talk about jerking off. It was appropriate at the time.
Sure.
But like now we're talking though about like key demographics of 30 to 40 30 to 40 year olds of like people that are watching these movies. I can understand having a soft spot in my heart for Double Dragon as an 8-year-old.
Right.
And then but that goes away. And then I'm like, "Oh, I don't need to see Double Dragon as a TV
mean,
show."
You love the shit out of Super Mario Brothers.
I will defend it in my own heart.
Well, no, like the video game itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you love the shit out of it. Did you have any desire to watch the new animated film with Chris Pratt as voicing Mario?
None whatsoever.
And Charlie Day as Luigi.
I did watch it, but I had no desire to. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I watched it.
So I'm just saying, like,
It took many a time scrolling past it on Netflix, and then I'm like, I guess tonight's the night.
yeah. Okay.
I did the same thing.
I guess here we go.
Yeah.
And then I got to the end, and I was like,
Hold on,
that
you're
was
supposed to
the
say,
story.
here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Let's Go. Let's Go.
Smoked a bowl, and then it was like, yeah, this is the night. That
This
I'm gonna
is my
watch
stoner movie. Sad 30-something-year-old Cole Gibbs.
But you know what I'm saying though about the
no.
audience, like this.
I don't think it's a lock. I mean, I don't think it's not nearly as the lock as you think it is. Also, I don't. Well, I do think, like I said before, video games is like the number one, like medium of the day. It's bigger than pretty much film, television combined.
They're
Right?
making a movie about fucking Pop-Tarts, man.
Yeah, because Jerry Seinfeld wants to make a fucking weird movie about Pop-Tarts. That's good for him. And I do, but also it's like, how many other times could you say, I want to make a post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war movie, and they'll just sit there and say, here's the laundry list of things that have come before it that have been in this genre. Is it because of Fallout that you want to do this, or is it something else? Now, if you want to have somebody climbing out of a bunker and exploring a post-apocalyptic world, yeah, you will get criticism and saying, hey, this is kind of like Fallout, a video game that's been around forever.
And I think, like, with, like, The Walking Dead and everything, like, people like these concepts.
But they haven't. I guess I haven't experienced a zombie video game that's been acceptable in my world, and that's where like I own The Last of Us. It's still in its packaging.
Yeah.
But it's from what I'm looking for like a zombie like shooter game.
Yeah.
It's never happened. Like there was another.
Not even Resident
Well,
Evil.
even like Twisted Metal is a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like it's another one of on the list.
Car fighting.
Yeah, it's light. It's light as hell, but
my overall point though is that there is a large library and audience for people to pull from. I mean, How far are we away from Grand Theft Auto, the fucking movie? I mean, that's got to be around the corner. It's
I'm sure
got to be
they've
talked
tried.
about.
I don't know.
It's got to be.
Or the TV show where you can finally do Miami Vice correct. You
You'd
know,
have to do it dumb. You'd have to. I don't. It'd be tough.
But I think like there's part of it is that the audience that's playing the video game that watches it, they're just so happy that it exists. Like I was when I was 8 and Double Dragon was there. I was like, oh wow, I played this game at arcade.
Oh, it's that kid from Party at 5. Wow.
I'm so forgiving of this movie because I'm so happy to see it exist.
But do you think
and
like,
everyone else is like, no, it's a dog piece of shit. But that world has been.
But like as an adult,
but that's what I'm saying though. That's
like
my
you
point.
think that's a problem that adults can't recognize good media because they're going to be
Exactly.
like overshadowed by the idea that they're finally making a movie that is a game that I've played.
Yes, that's my whole fucking point.
I think that's fair to say with just about everything. Actually.
No, they'll sit there and if it doesn't meet the expectations of what they want, they'll shit all over it.
You sat there.
I agree with him a little bit on that.
Wait,
I mean, take a look at fucking Star Wars. I mean, listen, when The Mandalorian season 2 came out, and it was like, this is kind of this is not as good as what it has been. Like people just shit on it.
You sat there and said no one's talked anything good about the Halo game or the Halo TV series.
Yeah.
But we looked and saw it's number 4 on the list, okay? And it's got 80% of whatever it is.
I'm curious about those numbers.
But you're removed, though, from... You admit that you didn't play the game.
Oh, I played Halo.
Okay, so you're in depth with Halo. You are a gamer now.
No, I'm not a gamer, but I'm very familiar with Halo.
Okay, so then put yourself over the other side. You're a casual video game player. Okay, I'm talking about gamers that when they go home from their job or whatever they do, if they're not on Twitch making money, that they're going to go and play Halo until their eyes bleed.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to watch that and be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to see. That's exactly what it's made for them. And that audience is so huge that it's worth the production companies to start steering their intent towards them. And that doesn't matter if we're like, oh yeah, I played Halo a few times in college, whatever. I'm not going to be attracted to it, but I'm also not the demographic. But if I played Fallout, and if I played every iteration of Fallout, and I stood in line and waited for the game to come out, and I did all this stuff, which that number is way bigger than anyone wants to give.
I think that's a lot smaller than you think. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think like the opposite end of it, I never watched Halo or never played Halo or Fallout and just went into it with open eyes, and I thought Halo was pretty good, even though that's considered to be lower on the Fallout was just kind of to me.
I understand
and
that.
That's just my honest opinion, but I think in Nathan's regard, like the nerd aspect of it too, is if they don't hold.
If it doesn't meet expectations, they're going to say you have ruined my childhood.
It doesn't. No, you're not ruining childhoods. You're ruining people in their 30s and 40s.
You've ruined a good game.
Yeah, that's.
You're ruining people that are grown-ass adults. That's what I'm talking about too, because you're not talking necessarily about 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
You're talking about. I was told that Fallout was good by multiple people in their 30s and 40s. Okay, because they play the game, and it's like when you start talking to people about that, and I'm not shitting on people who play video games, but it's a completely different world. If I don't play the game and they're talking about Pokemon Go is a great example. The amount of people that play Pokemon Go, and then it's their own special language, and it's like, I don't know this, but they're sitting there on their phone just like, did you check that at 2 o'clock? At 2 o'clock, the whole bonus package happened. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's real. That's real.
You know these people?
Yes, you know these people.
I do.
By the way.
Oh, I do.
Okay, they exist in the world. Okay, and as soon as they make a Pokemon Go movie or a TV show or whatever the fuck, they're going to be all about it. And my problem is that like it's a built-in audience, which is all they're ever looking to capitalize on.
Right.
And I won't disagree that like as soon as it gets bad, they'll shit on it, but they don't really care as long as the checks cash along the way. Like as long as they get the hype of the first season, they've already made their money back. You know, the fact that Fallout it came out like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe.
2 weeks
it's
ago.
crushing.
It's already number 2 on the list of the greatest, whatever paid.
It's a very short list.
I mean, it's crushing. Yeah, it's a very short list, but like the ratings are through the roof. Like it's crushing.
Ratings don't exist anymore, but the numbers are.
The numbers are really good.
I'll give you that. Because
better than 1999's Wing Commander starring Freddie Prinze Jr.
That was a movie, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. I'll give you that.
There's
like
a new one.
as far as adapting video games into television and film, the bar is extremely low. It's just extremely low. It's been a difficult nut to crack.
I feel that like it's a one thing.
So when things make it like an acceptable and dare I say good, not great, good, then it's like, oh, hey, good. I understand what you're trying to say. That it's as soon as you make something that's passable, it unlocks to a different level than it should. How about that?
You know, I hate bringing up Taylor Swift, but
Yeah, you sure do.
But she's a great example of the situation where are some of the songs that she have catchy?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. They're pop songs. They're meant to be catchy. They are catchy. And dare I say good, you know?
Yeah.
But there is a built-in audience that will accept whatever she puts in front of them.
Yeah, that she's
and
the
then
second
they'll
coming
just
of
say,
Christ, yeah.
yes,
Oh my
that's
god, this is the
amazing.
best thing ever.
But there's the same mentality that comes with people that play video games. And I'll agree with you that like there is a judgmental side, sure.
Yeah.
But there's also that 8-year-old, 10-year-old in them that's so happy to see it exist. And if they get anywhere tonally close, which I think is what, without ever playing Fallout
I think tonally,
or
I think
The Last of Us,
honestly,
they got there.
they nailed the
did it.
tone.
But-
You know,
I think this is the same
Irreverent.
argument with me and Good Burger, where it's just never going to be bad to me because I love it so goddamn much because it's.
And it's great when there's a ton of money for everything to exist. Like a Good Burger and Goodfellas can both exist in the same time, right? But if Goodfellas wasn't a video game, then it's not getting made.
sure. Yeah, that was Burger Time. They haven't made Burger Time into a
Burger Time was
into a
totally-
television series yet.
Yeah.
What else you got on this dog shit list?
I'm only going to do the live action ones and the ones you will know. Doom is number 9.
It's okay.
And Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
They have a very cool early scene of POV video game.
No, that's late. That's late. It's late in the movie.
I late in the movie, but
Yeah.
like as far as
Oh,
like
the POV. That POV scene's fun. It's fun.
other than that, dog shit.
Like, and that's what you want. No, it's as a sci-fi / horror
Wow, that was a
film.
new level of high. that you got there. I
As
don't
a-
think you could do it again if you tried.
As a sci-fi / horror film, it's like, oh, there's some interesting things happening here.
Where be your nutcracker?
he can't watch Pineapple Express, people, but he'll defend
I've watched
Doom.
Pineapple Express. I've watched Doom more than I've watched.
Dude, Where's My Car is a better movie than Doom.
Oh,
Wow.
You've never seen it.
I have watched 3/4 of Dude, Where's My Car as
you-
a 17-year-old boy, and I'm like, I cannot do this.
You sure about that?
Next on the
Yeah.
list, have you seen
Okay.
Monster Hunter with Mila?
No. Nope.
Never played the game, don't know anything about it. They made a Tekken movie, never heard of it, never saw it.
What is it, a Tekken movie?
Yeah, this one excites me. Prince of Persia, starring your boy.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I never played the game. I never watched the movie.
It's really bad.
I believe
It
it.
almost didn't it almost ruin his career. I mean, I know his
Kind of
parents would
did.
say
It was
that,
like they were, Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
was a huge thing, and they're like, well, this could be our
Like, how,
next.
how close was that to
It was supposed to be a 3.
John Carter from Mars,
I mean, it's pretty
time-wise?
Ew, gross.
it was roughly.
It was about the same time, because that
yeah.
was a big write-off for them, too. A book series from, like, the 1880s, by the way.
So basically, they were going to make 3 movies out of this.
And
It
they
was
said,
gonna-
nope.
Yeah, and it bombed.
Yeah.
And Jake had a hard time after that. Another one, truly loved. It's so fucking bad. It's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Max Payne.
Oh my God, no, it's so juicy.
As Mark Wahlberg in his finest role of all
But-
time.
Was he as a guy from Boston?
guys, this goes
He's from New York.
That's the problem. This is the clear distinction, though,
Yeah.
between they can't do it with movies. They cannot make a video game movie the same way. The success of the video game TV show
Sure.
is much more to the episodic nature that they've been making video
Yeah.
games.
It's a
And that's-
benefit for the medium.
It's gonna be. This is going
and
to.
it's going to lock it out.
It's gonna lock out things for sure.
I have a hard time believing that just because we're in
And what do
TV.
you care?
And the closest at the bottom, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the sequel. And
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
oh, it's bad.
It was pretty bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Even
They haven't. Can you look up what the best video game movie is that's ever been made? Because at this stage,
Super Mario Brothers, like the last, like
No.
literally, like.
because I don't think there's. I think at this point it's an oxymoron. I don't think
there's going to be a
Dungeons and
dumb one
Dragons.
that we're not thinking of.
Othello?
They made what's the really hard Chinese game? Is it O? I think it's called
Go.
Go. That's
Gran
what-
Turismo, Uncharted.
the latest one they put out.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Grandeur.
No, that might be very high on the list.
No, they're both not good.
About the kid that learned how to drive a race car from playing Gran
yeah.
Turismo.
Oh god, I forgot about the Warcraft movie. That was
Oh, that's really bad.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
You looked up the best,
maybe
right?
maybe
You looked up the
Sonic-
best.
Sonic
right?
I'm just listing off options here.
Maybe Sonic the Hedgehog? Maybe?
Find a fucking
Just
list.
'cause
Detective
everybody-
Pikachu.
People like Detective Pikachu. I didn't watch it.
And this doesn't concern you about the society
Okay,
that we're
I'll
living in.
find a list.
Please find
I
a
just
list.
wanted to throw
Hold
some out there.
on. Where the crawdads sing, crawdads sing. When that movie came out, where you're like, I cannot fucking believe
Yeah.
they fucking adapted this into a movie. How dare
That's the
they?
Hallmark Channel, though. Like
It wasn't the Hallmark Channel. That was like just a full
Might as
release
well
movie.
been.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like adapting.
white women can watch whatever they want. That's been long proven.
Adapting a book into another medium is
No one's talking about books.
Wow, this list is bad.
so like.
I'm
but
saying-
I'm saying like so adapting a video
Okay.
game into a television or a movie.
Hold on.
It's
Wait, let me ask a question.
yeah.
Do you think the same percentage of people read books that play video games? Or do you think there is a disproportionate amount of people that do one versus the other?
Okay, so like I said, I don't know.
Answer
like,
the question.
as far as breakdown.
You're in a court of law now. Answer the question.
It has been stated, and it's a known fact, that video games is the biggest generator of revenue as far as genre of
So people
medium.
play more video games than read books.
But that's how
Can you answer the
how
question?
that's dissected across all these. Now, you tell me how many copies of Fallout, any Fallout game has ever been purchased ever. I don't know.
Do more people play video games than read books? Or is it the same number? Or is it
No,
more
I
people
think-
read books than play video games?
Well,
It's A, B, or C. Do more people play video
more
games?
people play video games, but also that's kind of a wide out. That's everything from playing stupid mobile games all the way through.
That doesn't matter, right?
I know.
Because
So I'm saying it's a very
because I can
big
say
population.
do more
It's-
people play video games than read?
It's the biggest. Yes, more people play video games than read.
So therefore, it's already a bigger market. It doesn't matter. Yes, they've been adapting books and short stories into things
But
forever.
this is
But-
just you being cynical, though, that
No, no,
people
no,
are
no, no.
morons and they need to just be
No.
spoon-fed stuff.
But
and
you don't like stoner comedies because people that smoke weed are stupid idiots. So
No, that's
therefore,
not what I said at all. I said I don't care for them. They don't connect with me.
what I'm saying is that I'm worried because what this is if it was just books
Yeah.
being turned into movies or
Something
TV
that's happened
shows.
for 150 years.
Stop. Just listen to me. Listen for
Yeah.
5 fucking seconds, okay? Please. Okay? The amount of people that read those books is a very, very small percentage to the people that have played Fallout watching this show. Okay? It's a much bigger number that people that have played Fallout that are watching this show. I am in the minority here. I've never played the game. I only watched it because I knew you guys watched it.
Yeah.
I would not
You'd
give
have
a
lost
shit
right
about it.
over that. Yeah.
And I don't
That's fine.
care. Okay? And I recognize that.
Yeah.
But there's way more people watching that show that have played that game. And just like in Game of Thrones, there's a lot more people that watch Game of Thrones but never read the books.
Yeah.
And people that read the books are pissed off at the people that didn't read the books but watch the show.
Yeah.
Okay? There's just this scary precedent that's being set because there's a ton of video games and a ton of people that play them, and then it's going to leave zero room for actual original storylines to come through.
Sure.
And not to say that the video games don't have an original storyline. It's just the door is going to be very, very small for other things to get through. Like Taylor Swift is the only one that can make music now, unless she is deemed someone her friend, and then they are allowed to make music. whatever. I don't
No,
care.
no, hey,
Let's go
listen,
back
like-
to Double Dragon.
No, Mattel like has like once Barbie became a hit, they're like, okay, shit. All right, we can like take everything and we can take all of our bullshit IP and we can turn it into a movie and we can make millions and $1 million. We're gonna have a Barbie every single year as far as gross revenue. But everybody
clearly hasn't worked, has it?
well, they haven't started. They're working on it now, but they haven't released any movie. I mean,
Well, yeah, they released one.
well, no, after Barbie became a smash hit. They're like, okay, we're gonna make our Hot Wheels movie. We're gonna make this. We're gonna do that.
You know, they'll do it,
They're gonna do it, and they're gonna flop on their face. What I'm saying is, if the quality's there,
but it's a numbers game. It doesn't matter if the Hot Wheels movie doesn't make money. The Barbie movie already did.
yeah.
No, you can't. So, like, what did I just say?
If the quality's not there, people aren't gonna continue to go, and then they're gonna find some other bullshit genre to latch themselves onto and move on.
What's the best What's the best video game movie?
So only 6 of them have a fresh review
'Kay.
of all of the video games movies
'Kay.
that have been made. Werewolves Within, which I've never heard of.
Never heard of that.
Angry Birds 2 is the second highest on this list.
You see why I'm worrying about society?
Jason Sudeikis in it. It's fine. Sonic the Hedgehog 2
I also worry about
is
that,
number
too.
3.
Eh,
Pokemon Detective Pikachu is number 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, which I thought was probably going to be truly awful, is number 5. And then Sonic the Hedgehog. And then everything else is rotten. Mario Brothers is 7. The new Mortal Kombat is 8. The new Tomb Raider is 9.
There was a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
on HBO Max.
Oh, that was okay.
Rampage is 10. The original Mortal Kombat is 11.
And you see why I worry about society. And at the end of the day,
Uncharted is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
now this could be a podcast.
Yeah, this could be a podcast.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you're a video game nerd
Or if you enjoy
Or-
strip clubs.
or a stoner bro,
Yeah.
dork,
Yeah.
thanks so much for listening.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Guy in Hutchinson, Kansas, I'm talking to you.
It's talking to you specifically.
Yeah.
I'm going more Cabo San Lucas. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for listening. We really appreciate it. Be sure to smash that like button and really
Yeah.
give it, just pound it hard.
Yeah.
Run train on that like button.
No, not again.
Why not?
Because